Hello there, friend. You're about to enjoy an excellent Snaps game recap as me and Aaron tell you everything you need to know about the game of the title. Hope you enjoy. Stoops! How about it? How about it? No longer Mark Poops, okay? That was a Mark Stoops game right there. God, Ole Miss, man, you could not have scripted a bigger shitting of the bed than what the Ole Miss Rebels did today at home, 11 a.m. against Kentucky, their first real test of the season. And that unreal offense that was absolutely tearing through and dominating everything. Moving through defenses faster than that stomach bug Aaron had earlier in the week, came to a complete and grinding halt against the Kentucky Wildcats. And Mark motherfucking Stoops, baby. I'm TBob A-Bear. He's Aaron Murray. This is Snaps. We're in a great mood because that's a great game. A lot of great football on this 11 a.m. slate. And Snaps officially hit 25K, 25.2 already, y'all. Let's fucking go. Thank you all so much. Aaron's in Baton Rouge, refuses to hang out with me. Aaron, what's up, man? How's that? What's going on?
Fuck you, whatever. Dude, Stoops won a big game on the road. What a crazy season for Kentucky. You get spanked by South Carolina. Then you have a bowl game against Georgia, which should have won, could have won, whatever you want to say, but like had an opportunity to beat the number one team in the nation. You don't get it done. You don't go for a fourth down. Then you come back on the road against Ole Miss, one of the hottest teams in America, and you go for it on fourth down. You convert the big play. You win the football game, and Mark Stoops gets his signature victory against the number 6 team in the country. So, like, I just want to say congratulations, Mark Stoops. Congratulations, Kentucky, Brock Vandergriff, all of that, because that's a good football team, TBob. That's a major growth out of Vander. That's a good football team. That's a good defense with an offense that made some plays down the stretch. So, but I am so disappointed in Ole Miss. So disappointed. I thought that team improved in areas that were going to take them over the top. And to lose at home in that fashion and look that sloppy, yikes. Not good for Lane Kiffin.
There's a lot to get into here. Thank you everybody for watching. Share, hit the like button. Aaron, check your mic real quick. Make sure you're on that portable microphone. I'm not 100% sure that you're not. Just double check. Shout out Jason Champon, $2 super chat says missed. Yeah, you sound great. You sound great. It doesn't matter either way.
We're good.
Yeah, that's way better. There we go. Says Ole Miss. Good wordplay there. All right. So where do I want to start here? Okay, this is where I want to start here. You, right before we went live, tried to basically tell me that I had to apologize to Mark Stoops. So why? Because he owes me a thank you. He owes me a thank you. Because what did he do today?
I love how you spin this.
What did he do today that he did not do to Kentucky, that he did not do against Georgia? That if you had your way, he would have punted it again. This game, 4th and 7, 3 minutes left. This time he's on his own fucking 20. And what do? They try to win the game. And what fucking happened?
Completely different situation. Completely different situation. You know why? Because field position was not an issue versus Georgia as it is now. Georgia, you punt the ball. I'm giving my reason. I'm giving my reason. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You are the only person that is going to say it's a completely different scenario. It is literally the same thing.
It is a different scenario. No.
And unlike last time, Stoops dropped his fucking nuts, said, I'm no longer going to be Mark Poops. I'm sick of TBob talking shit, and I'm going to go out here and try to fucking win a game. And look at what happens. You get rewarded, okay? So, yeah, it's just like I told Kentucky. I want better for Kentucky. And so there you go. You got better today. Brock Vandergriff got better. You looked great on both lines of scrimmage, just like you did against Georgia. You went for it on 4th and 7 on your own 20 to win the fucking game, not give the ball back to that offense, not let them run out the clock like you just did. Look, it's okay to make a mistake. We never want to make the same mistake twice in life. Mark Stoops learned from that god-awful decision against Georgia, and he came back, and my guy got it fucking done today, dude. I'm not gaslighting, guys. This is real shit.
No. I want to say this. I'm just going to say it right now so we can maybe touch on this a little bit later because someone in the chat brought this up. The whole, Georgia sucks because Kentucky, because of that game. Like, do we now change our perspective on Georgia a little bit after what we saw right now of like, okay, Georgia on the road versus Kentucky escaped the win. Like, maybe that should give Georgia fans a little bit more. Because right now there's like no, I don't want to make this about Georgia. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's save this for later. Back to this game. As you're watching the first quarter, Ole Miss drives down the field, scores a touchdown. Then Kentucky has it for 7-8 minutes. And you're seeing if there's a recipe to get it done, Kentucky had the recipe early on in that first half. 8 minutes, I believe, of possession time for Ole Miss, and Kentucky had it for 22 minutes. Overall, 40-20. They doubled them in time of possession. That's how you get it done. That's how Kentucky wins football games. They don't win shootouts. They win games that are in the 20s, in the teens. When you play great defense, when you keep an opposing offense off the field, they did that versus Georgia. They did that versus Ole Miss. It was the perfect execution game. And then you don't turn it over and you don't have the penalties that Ole Miss had. So once again, you could not have scripted it better for the Wildcats.
Whipmaster, you're fucking right. I'm taking credit for this. I mean, I literally told Kentucky what to do, and now they've gone and done it. It was an elite game plan by Kentucky. You're absolutely right. I mean, the management, the just absolute python strangling another animal type of control that they had over this game was insane. Guys, the final time of possession is 40-20. 40. In the first half alone, I believe it was 22-8. We say it all the time, right? How do you keep what's the best defense against a great offense? Sometimes staying on the field with your own offense, right? Ball control, extended drives. And one thing Kentucky did very well today was they stayed on schedule a lot of times, and they would get to 3rd and manageable, or they would get to 4th and manageable, and they would get the conversion, and they would extend the drive, and they ran that play clock down every fucking snap, Aaron. I mean,
every single time.
A real disciplined patience to make sure that they were going to shorten this game at all costs. No tempo changes, no trying to catch any, that was a big play. Let's go see if we can hurry up to line. No. We're going to stick with our plan, and we are just going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and it worked to perfection. You know what else, man, Aaron? If you have to, you need to talk on Brock Vandergriff here, because I feel like Vandergriff took major strides this game. And let's be clear, the quarterback run for both Vandergriff and who's the other guy? I got it right here.
Wimsack, yes, who's a hell of an athlete.
From Wimsatt and Vandergriff. The stats aren't going to jump off the screen when you look at the end of the day. Sacks, take everything away from Vandergriff, whatever. But very effective. 17 hard carries for Vandergriff this day. 9 for Wimsatt. And it's kind of weird, Aaron, because watching live, and again, Kentucky deserves so much credit in the trenches. We said it after the Georgia game. It was weird because it didn't look fluky how they controlled that game. We were like, it wasn't really in a fluky way, right? Well, they're pretty fucking good on the lines of scrimmage. But sorry, I'm losing the thread. I'm so excited. Vandergriff, what did you see out of him today? Because Kentucky, up at the end of the first half, Kentucky had yet to score a touchdown in SEC play. It had basically been 2.5 games. Then they come up with a massive one at the end of the first half. And then obviously the second half, they actually start to get that offense going a little bit, especially when they needed it most, and they come away with a massive win. What did you see out of Vandergriff?
What? You go back, we think about the game for South Carolina, and the offensive line got whipped. I mean, absolutely destroyed up front. And that's two things. One, it was a very bad offensive line.
Good.
And South Carolina's defense line's legit. And then 2, that was Brock Vandergriff's second game as a starter. This is only his 5th game as a starting quarterback. Like we think like, oh, Brock Vandergriff, we've heard his name a bunch, or we've seen him in mop-up duty at Georgia. Like, you this experienced quarterback. Like, no, this was his 5th game as a starting quarterback. You look at the other side for Jackson Dart, he started near 40 football games already. So like you're talking about a guy who's played 40 games and started compared to a guy that's on his 5th career start. So like he's going to get more comfortable. He's going to get better. Plus it's a brand new offensive coordinator. So like there's a lot of moving parts offensively that need to get cleaned up. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, Kentucky's going to turn into like this elite offense. Just give them time. Like I think like today's is as good as you're going to get, and maybe you'll get a little bit better. The defense has to play elite, but for Brock to take care of the football, convert some really good, plays with his arm and his legs, at times third downs, putting on his shoulder. The balls on that 4th down throw to drop it down the bucket was absolutely incredible. So like overall, this was a great game from him.
The offense could get good though, because the O-line is obviously good. Sumo Carnpay is, we can't say the O-line's not good with how with what they did against UGA and what they did. I'm not saying they're great, but they're good.
And they're missing a running back who they think may be their true number 1 running back that's been injured. And I thought he was coming back today, but I guess not. So they'll add some more depth at running back too.
They've got the quarterback run package in there. Sumo Carnpay is good. But then look at today. Sumo Carnpay wasn't actually the engine like he was against Georgia. Dane Key ends up with 8 grabs for 105 yards. Barry and Brown gets a lot of it on the longest 63, but he has 5 for 88. So you look at Vandergriff, all of a sudden Vandergriff's 18 to 28, 243, 1 tud, no picks. Like you said, 5th start. So if like against lesser teams, like the schedule has to get easier for Kentucky at a certain point. Like I could see that offense actually maybe being pretty good. Like I might be eating a plate of shit for all my Mark Poops comments by the end of this year, potentially.
I think it's all defense. I think it's all O-line. If the O-line plays like they did in this game, if they play like they did versus Georgia, then I think this could be a middle of the pack offense in the SEC. I mean, that's saying a lot because there's a lot of really good offenses in the SEC.
KMC saying Vandergriff pressured on 47% of his dropbacks. Yeah, which is what makes, I don't think that takes away from the O-line because you're facing Jared Ivey, Princely Umanmielen, Walter Knowlton. Like that's a very good pass rushing Ole Miss defensive line. I think it's a very good defensive line overall. And you push it back consistently. Did they get you the best? Yes. But doesn't that make what Vandergriff did even more impressive? If you're telling me one of every 2 times he drops back, he's got a guy in his face and he still managed to put up those numbers.
No, I'm 100% with it. I think it was a great game. I still will say this. This is a team that has a top tier defense, front 7, and they're going to be in games like this all year. I mean, they're not going to blow anyone out. Like this will not be an offense that turns into, hey, we're scoring 35 to 50 points. That's just that's not how they operate. That's not how they call plays. That's not the quarterback that they have. It's just not who they are. Like they are still very much pro style, run the football, eat up the clock. Time of possession is always going to be in our favor, and then we're going to play great defense. It's going to be shorter games, and so it will be more efficient. But I don't see like points per game going up significantly.
I think you're most likely probably correct, but who knows, man? Who knows? I didn't see Kentucky winning.
Let's go to Ole Miss real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
What does this do to Ole Miss? What does this do to Ole Miss?
Well, before we get to what it does to Ole Miss, remember what we said coming into this game. Okay. We did not expect Kentucky's offense to have a ton of success. I thought they'd have no success. Getting to 20 was more than I thought they'd get. But what did we continuously say? This was going to truly be judgment day for the offense, right? Which is putting up otherworldly numbers, like true space galaxy numbers. And this was going to be, okay, how legitimate is it? Are they for real? Is this a true championship offense? And we said it was going to come down to that retooled Ole Miss offensive line, the element that holds them back in every major game for the past 2 years. And Aaron, 3 years. Aaron, unfortunately, I feel like that offensive line failed the test miserably. It may be a bit better, but like, this is why they lost. This is why they lose to Bama. It's why they lose to Georgia. And it looks like it's why they'll
Mhm.
lose to those teams again this year.
Yeah, and I think the problem with Ole Miss too overall, I 100% agree with you. Like, this is they went out there, got guys on both lines of scrimmage. They thought they were improved. I do think the defensive line's improved. Offensive
The
line,
D-line's real good.
you've been hearing, you've been hearing that like, okay, like we feel like we're bigger, stronger, but like those guys have not truly come together just yet. And you saw that in the game against a very good Kentucky defensive line. And the good thing we talked about with Ole Miss heading into the season, T, was schedule's easy. Schedule's easy. Schedule's easy. Well, now all of a sudden you lose one game. I don't think a 10-2 Ole Miss team, because of that schedule, is going to get in the playoffs. You had to go 11-1 almost in order to get in there. It'll be you're towing the line a little bit.
6-2 in the SEC. Yeah, you're definitely not guaranteed it, but like if you still go 6-2 in the SEC, and 10-2 overall, I think you'll probably make it. Maybe not.
We'll see. I mean, I think it helps if like like what's your signature win going to be? You know what I mean?
The bigger point is though, sorry.
I would say, yeah. I mean, you need a signature win somewhere along the line. So like you need LSU to be obviously ranked, and when you play them in a couple weeks, you would like to be Oklahoma would be ranked. Obviously, you have Georgia. Maybe Arkansas finds a way if they continue to win. If they beat A&M today, they're ranked. So like you need some ranked wins because you look at the schedule and some of those games are going to get tough, but you're not going to have a lot of primetime games that kind of show your stuff off. Besides the ones that you could lose to, like first Georgia.
I mean, again, though, I don't know after this with the questions that this raises. I mean, when you fail your first true test as spectacularly as Ole Miss just did, right? Going from throwing for 400 a game and scoring 40 plus to now basically 260 and 17 points at home. When that happens, I don't have faith you're going to go 10-2 anymore. So I don't even want to talk about playoffs.
I agree.
Ole Miss has to make me believers again before I'm going to tell them playoff. I'll say this. I'll say this just as a little game note, because we always football guys always love to bitch about analytics when they don't work. But it looked like Lane Kiffin going for it, 4th and 7 from midfield. It's the end of the third quarter. They're losing the game. They haven't done anything all game. That was a big balls time to make that call. They go for it. Kentucky tries to bring pressure. They take advantage. Huge touchdown. That, to me, I thought that was it for Kentucky. I wrote in my notes, brought the entire stadium to life on a very sleepy day. Kentucky held the rope for a long time. In the end, though, the Kentucky offensive line was just not enough. Because, as you take notes in these games, you kind of get ahead of yourself sometimes. And then that's why the only reason I bring that up.
There were multiple moments. You're true. That like there's multiple moments where I'm like, okay, Ole Miss is about to pull away. Ole Miss is about to pull away. Ole Miss is about to pull away. And they just never did. They just never did. I was shocked.
The reason to bring that up is first and foremost to give Kentucky credit for mental and physical toughness to absorb those blows, get the stops when they needed to against a very good offense, and then find ways to move the ball and end up scoring. I mean, how about that goal line play? Do you know what kind of balls it takes to call a fumble Ruski option on the goal line? And these motherfuckers executed it perfectly. By the way, guys, I'm joking, and you can tell that Aaron wasn't really listening there because he just agreed that fumble on the goal line that resulted in a touchdown was an actual executed play. No. The old fumble Ruski option, boys. But like,
did were you like testing me there? Like, what was that? Sorry, I was watching Arkansas.
No. I was not testing. I just thought that was a funny ass play. And I like pretending like it was a design play. But the other thing is a bit of a lack of killer instinct from Ole Miss there as well. You're at home after you score that touchdown and you get the ball back that next possession and you're at the 40-yard line. You're supposed to be the offensive wunderkinds. You gotta go win that game there. And they did not.
No. Great win though. Great win by Kentucky. Great win. A lot of good games on right now.
Is this going to be Stoops' 4th win against an SEC team that'll probably finish with a winning SEC record?
Probably.
Let's go.
Number 6 team in the country on the road. That's a monster win.
Oh, Well, I'd say that was informative and fun. If you agree, please hit the like button, sub, and we'll see you next time for some more snaps.